Welcome to CommSpark. Today we are in Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is Louie Hollmeyer, and I will be your guest host today. I would like to welcome our guest, Glenn Warden, CIO at Bahl Gaynor Investment Counsel. In your opinion, what is the most overlooked area of information security?
I think the most overlooked areas are user training and incident response. The user training is just the lowest hanging fruit. We've found that our users are the biggest gap in our cybersecurity
and training. Users, are we talking about the employees?
The employees,
your stakeholders, so to speak, within the office.
Yep, the employees. So okay. It's usually a really inexpensive way to train your users. There's a lot of cloud platforms and things like out there that can help train your users. So and then incident response. I think a lot of people don't put the value into the incident response. And what we've seen is companies that deal with an incident well, it's a blimp off the radar screen when they have an incident. Companies that don't deal with it well, they could be out of business.
Okay. When in your world, what is an incident? Excuse me.
An incident really could be a lot of companies define it differently. An incident really is anything that impacts the business within a cybersecurity issue. So it's not an alert. It would go beyond an alert. So anything that impacts the business.
So it's not simply I need to update my password.
No. It's
okay.
little more serious than that.
Okay.
We try not to use the word the B word.
The B word.
Breach.
Oh, gotcha. Can you tell us about your equipment lifecycle management plan?
Sure. We really don't have one anymore. To be honest with you, we have gone to such a hosted, managed, and cloud platform with everything.
As a service type stuff.
Yeah, as a service type stuff, and so everything's really a BYOD. We've completely virtualized all of our servers, all of our desktops, and we really, so all of our infrastructure as a service, everything's as a service, or in some way or form or fashion. It's either a hosted, managed, as a service, and so we really don't have a lot of devices. It's all, it's all either leased through the contracts, through the software as a service, and so bringing in that BYOD, people are able to access, anything on any device. We really don't have a device lifecycle anymore. There's very few things that we actually own.
Seems like you're ahead of the curve with your as a service and cloud movement. You're all the way there, whereas people are really sometimes just now talking about it, somewhere in the migration. So that's very commendable that you've gotten that far out. I'm just curious, how many devices do you anticipate with each employee? How many devices are they using individually? 3, 4, 5?
That's a good question. I think I've got over 10, but I'd say everybody's got between 3 to 5 devices.
Yeah, that's about what we hear as well.
Yeah.
All right, great. Let's transition a little bit here. No pun intended. Digital transformation. The pace of technology change and the degree to which it has permeated the business has had an impact on every level of organizations today. These same factors have prompted change within the ranks of IT organizations as legacy applications and infrastructure have given way to cloud, as we've talked about, SaaS, and platform as a service, PaaS. What changes have taken place or may be considered in your IT organization?
The changes that have taken place are pretty immense. We've moved our entire environment to either a hosted, managed, or a software as a service, a platform as a service. We have nothing in our data center. Everything is nothing on our location. Everything is in a data center. It's replicated to another data center. So it's changed our IT organization immensely. Everything's in a cloud environment, if you will. And so.
So you basically took your data center on premise and moved it to the cloud, and then replicated it with that provider?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a managed. So a lot of it's managed servers that are on managed servers, managed infrastructure as a platform. So everywhere from the firewall to the servers, to the storage, to the infrastructure backbone. That's all on a hosted, kind of a hybrid type platform. Everything we have is in it's either in a private and some public cloud. Mostly in a private cloud, we found has worked best for us. But yeah, I mean, nothing's in our data. We don't have much of a server room anymore. We've got at our office locations, we've got.
So after you do that, it boils down to just network. You're building a resilient, high velocity network so people can get to their applications. Everybody says, what is it, layer 7? The app layer is where it's at right now. So if you can make those apps dance, you're doing well.
Yeah, a lot of it is it's a hosted and managed platform though. So we haven't gone truly to a software as a service, like not a true cloud provider. And that really is more that's at the application layer. So everything we have is kind of an infrastructure as a service. On the application level, that gets a little more complicated. That really depends on the application and which application we're using to do that. We're a small company. We're pretty nimble, so we can make a lot of those changes pretty quickly. So I think we are. Like on the virtualization level, we were pretty advanced. I mean, we were one of the first companies I know of that had completely virtualized our servers and our desktops. So we're completely virtualized, and infrastructure as a service. So we don't own any servers, any SANs, anything like that. So we're pretty advanced on that side. We're in the financial industry, obviously, and so that's tends to move pretty slowly. So the application layer, though, we still have a lot of applications that are client server based. All the servers are hosted and managed, and some of them are in an infrastructure as a service that are on a cloud cloud platform, but it's not a true software as a service. We still have a lot of applications that are a long ways away from being on a true like SaaS platform.
Okay.
And those
does that have something to do with the industry, compliance?
It's the industry. It's the complexity of the integration of the applications. I think it is the industry itself, but a lot of it's the applications that we use, the legacy applications you use. It's really hard to move to a different application. We just don't have the internal resources to really put to it, and so it just moves really slow. And so we look at those like application by application. So is the application ready for it? Is the vendor ready for because a lot of vendors will have the on-premise version, then they'll have the cloud version, and are they ready? Is the functionality ready?
And they speak highly of the cloud version, but once you get there, there's latency and there's different things going on.
So is the application actually ready? Is there a vendor that provides that application that's actually ready? And then also is our business ready for it? I mean, do we have the internal resources to take that project on, to move it from the on-premise to the cloud version? And does it make sense? So that's part of it too.
I would like to thank Glenn for joining us today, and for those listening to the interview. To learn more, go to comspark.tech.